Hello again, it's so nice to be back with you and I really hope you are doing great wherever you are. So today I have prepared a white canvas and I have just covered the entire surface with a thin even coat of liquid white and we are ready to go. So let's start with a 2-inch brush and a small amount of phthalo blue. Just tapping some paint on the 2-inch brush and let's just paint a nice blue sky today. Just make some crisscross strokes. And as you can see, the color is blending with the liquid white. It's getting lighter and lighter as we go downwards. Just a nice blue sky today. And we don't need much paint. Just let it blend with the liquid white. Okay. Now very gently, just go above the entire surface. Remove the top marks. And we have a nice blue sky here. Let's add a little bit of water in this paint. I'm gonna return to my phthalo blue and just go down here and just have some water in this painting. Start from the outside and go inside. And I don't want a lot of water in this painting, maybe just cover the entire canvas if you want. But I don't want much. And just do this, just clean your brush on the bottom of the painting. Do not worry about anything though. This is our main water source in this painting. Okay, maybe add some more blue on the sky. I want it a bit different. As you can see, we can just go back and forth as many times as we want. Okay. And that easily we have a nice background. Let's now take a 2-inch brush. Let's paint some clouds. I'm gonna take just the top corner of the 2-inch brush and just tap it into some paint, as you can see. But not much paint though. And come up here, let's decide to have some big clouds. Big clouds here. And now, just to blend them a little bit, take a clean 2-inch brush and just go across. And these are probably the easiest and some of the most effective clouds you can paint in this technique. Let's build another big cloud here. And let's start in here. Just make it a little bit different. But remember to save a dark area in between so we have some depth and variations here. Okay, and take the same clean, dry 2-inch brush, fluff them up a little bit if you want. Just like that, and we don't have to worry about much blending in these ones. Some nice fluffy clouds in here. Okay, and then quickly we have a nice little sky. Now let's build a mountain today. Let's take some titanium white and let's add a little bit of Prussian blue, this is ivory black, and some alizarin crimson, maybe some Van Dyke brown, and we pull this out very flat and just cut off a little roll of paint here. So let's decide that we have a mountain back in here. Let's have a mountain right here. Decide the number of peaks you want. And this is a mountain that's quite far away. So let's not put any more details on this one. And another peak. Okay, scratch off any excess pen that we might be having. And I'm gonna take a 2-inch brush and just pull the paint. This helps us remove any excess paint that we'll be having. And we can also apply the highlight and the shadows much easier. We don't want a lot of paint back here. Okay, just like so. Now we have a nice basic shape for a mountain to play with. And always remember that mountains are more distinct on top compared to the bottom. Okay. Let's take now the knife with some titanium white. This is straight titanium white here. We pull this out very flat and cut off a roll of paint to paint the snow. So start from the top and under no pressure, just let it break like that. Some more white, and just like that. Like no pressure, you can have a very nice snow effect. Add some more snow on the big peak here. Just like that. Go to this one too. We can have a little bit of snow back here too. Now let's take some titanium white and some a little bit, but not much. I want a light blue color here. And same way we pull out and we cut off the roll of paint like that. Let's start from back here. Just let it touch the canvas like that. And in here you can sneak with the small edge of the knife and just paint some shadows like here. Just like that. And go back here. And you decide the number of the peaks and the colors and all these. This is completely up to you. And nice shadows back here. And you can come with some more white and just fix what you don't like in here. Have a nice peak and return to your shadow, because remember that each peak requires its private shadow. So I want to bring this one forward, so I'm gonna go to my white and just follow the angles. It's very important. And bring this together, just like that. And we have a very nice mountain in the background here, so let's mist the bottom. I'm gonna take clean and dry 2-inch brush, make sure it's dry, and we're just gonna follow these angles here and mist the bottom of the mountain. And in here we follow these angles. Lift upwards, just like that. We'll have a nice mountain back here in the mist. Now we need something to separate this area. Let's have a big fluffy cloud. And I'm gonna take the twins brush that I had here from earlier. Let's have a fluffy cloud here. And I'm loading both sides with a lot of paint. And let's go here and just make a separation. Using just the corner of the brush. Maybe this big cloud comes from here. Just like that. And as you can see, this is gonna push the mountain even further back, so now we're gonna need the other brush to soften it a little bit. Only the bottom though, and just lift upwards and caress it very, very gently without destroying the mountain. Okay, tell us something. I want to have another mountain here, so I'm gonna go into the same mountain color that I already have, just make it a little bit darker. So I'm gonna add some ivory black, some Prussian blue, and some bandite brown, maybe some crimson. Just make it darker. And we pull out very flat and get a regular roll of paint here. So let's have a big mountain. This will push everything back. So let's come up here. Add a lot of pressure when you're painting mountains to have a nice mountain shape. Just like that. Big strong mountain here. And let's have a big peak right here. Okay. Remove any excess paint. It's the same procedure, we're just using darker color here. Okay. Return to my big brush. And just pull. Same thing. This is gonna give you a lot of practice with mountains. Just like that. And this is something that will also help you to decide where you want your highlights and shadows and all this. You can just pull the paint and follow the marks of the brush to decide where you want the highlights to be. Just like that, play with the paint. By the time this is wet, you can move it and do whatever you like. Okay, pull this like that, have a big cliff or something here, I don't know. Okay. And return to my white. Pull this out very, very flat and cut a roll of paint and go here and just follow the angles just like that. We have to let the paint to break. We need a very firm and dry paint when we're doing that, so make sure you have bought a very dry paint. This is a Winsor & Newton titanium white, so I really recommend you get the same brand. It's the Winton series. It's very, very cheap and dry, and it's a student grade that it's appropriate for this technique. Now let's add another peak in here. Let your knife bounce a little bit and paint all these nice peaks. Some snow back here and another one just like that. And now I'm gonna darken my shadow color. Let's paint some, let's add some more pale blue to that. We want it slightly darker. If this is too dark, I'm gonna take some more white. That's better. And let's come up here and just follow the angles. This is just a game of angles when it comes to mountains. Just like that. And as previously, we just seeing the small knife here, the small edge, I'm sorry. And follow the angles and just pull some paint here. We have lots of dark areas. Do the same thing in the big peak here. And the paint break. And go to the smaller peaks here too. It will separate us. Just like that. Now let's spend some time with the big peak here. Some more white. And let's do that. Let's play a little bit. Like that, so. And you can also come with this peak here and bring everything together. Just follow the angles. And some more snow in here. Maybe there is another peak that comes in this spot. Give it its private shadow. And as you can see, they stand much better here. I'm gonna add some blue areas here and there. And return to my white. And make this a little bit more distinct. Just like that. Okay. I'm gonna take the twins brush now and just mix the bottom of those. They have a big strong mountain here. But be very gentle with that. We don't want to destroy this nice effect. Let's bring this forward. And we always have a misty area on the bottom of the mountains. Lift upwards. And so is we have another nice mountain. So let's step back a little bit. It's always important to step back and see what you have when you're painting. So let's see how the depth is and what we don't like that we want to fix, okay? So we have two nice mountains back here. So let's have some foothills. I want more depth. So I'm gonna let's take a one brush today. And I'm gonna go with some of my sub green in here in my blue and white. This is just the shadow color of the mountain that I'm adding a little bit of sub green. Maybe add some of my mountain color too. Let's see what I'm getting. That's a nice color for foothills. Let's load both sides. Just tap in some paint. Let's have a nice foothill back here. Remember to save the cloud here too. And just by tapping, we have a nice foothill back here. This comes forward in front of the other mountain, but remember to save the misty area, the cloud, all these things that are working as separators. Some more paint. And just fill this in. Okay. I'm gonna take a clean and dry once brush, and I just want to to lift upwards. This will give the indication of faraway trees on top of the foothill, but make short, straight strokes. It's very important to be short, because you don't want a very distinct tree indications here, because it won't look right. We're still far away. Now let's mist the bottom of that. I'm gonna take the 2-inch brush and just tap the bottom of it. By the time we have the liquid white on, this happens automatically. Just like that. And lift upwards. Just like that. And have a nice misty bottom here. Okay. Now let's make another layer of foothills. I'm gonna return to my color here. This is kind of dirty green or something, I don't know. Let's add more paint, and I'm gonna use some green again, and basically the same color, only darker, because we're getting a little bit closer, and when painting landscapes, the colors are getting more distinct when they're getting close to the one that sees the painting. And let's add some Van Dyke brown too, some little amount of ivory black to that, and reload the brush. See what we have. Let's start from this side this time, and this is much more distinct. This is what I was looking for. Big strong foothill here, and we're just heading this way now. And as before, we are saving the misty area because we want something to separate these two foothills. Let's make this a little bit higher so it adds more interest. And just tap, tap, tap like that. Fill the scene. And now the same thing with the trees and the mist. These are probably some of my favorite foothills to paint. I can build thousands of layers if I want. Seriously, this is what I like with this technique, that we have absolute freedom, and you can vary your colors and the tones and the light and all these. Nothing can stop you here. Okay, let's mist the bottom of those. And we really press hard here. Just tap strongly. Just like so. The more you tap, as you can see, the mistier it gets, so tap as much as you want. I really want a nice misty area on the bottom of the foothill. So let's build the final layer. Let's come from the right this time. So same colors here, just darker. Some black, some sub green, less white, some blue here maybe. Just a touch of white to break it up. And by brush mixing the colors here, we're getting lots of variations. And let's come forward now. That's just too green for me, so I'll add some more black to gray it down. So let's come here and just add another layer of foothills here. Just make them as high or as short as you want. Okay. It's basically like painting grass, but you just give more character, and you want to build a foothill this time. And even if you put more pressure here, it will still work, but when you're painting grass, just be very, very gentle with your tapping. Okay, let's fill this in. I want to have a reflection. Let's fill this in quickly. And now let's bring this a little bit roundish. So make the top trees here short strokes, and make them as straight as possible so they look better. Okay. And let's take a twins brush now. And let's take a dirty one. This is the one with the mountain color on. Remove most of the excess paint. And let's return to the same identical color here. And let's decide where we want our reflections to be. Just pull down. Just like that. And the same thing here. Add more color. Make them more distinct. Just like that. And remember to have the same height of the foothill as the reflection here. So let's fix the foothills a little bit. Just add more paint and make them look full. I don't want any gaps in here. Okay. And now I want to make it a little bit softer, so I'm gonna take another twins brush and just pull and blend. Maybe there's a vast lake here or something. And now very, very gently go across. This is a very nice water effect. By the time the paint is mixing with the liquid white, this happens automatically. And I'm gonna take some liquid white on my palette, take some film white too, but not much, and just a touch of dark sienna. Pull this out flat and just cut across to have the water line here. Just like that. And if you get any water lines like in here that are more distinct, just work them and they will disappear in time. Some more liquid white here. And that quickly we have a very nice background. Now let's move a little bit forward. Let's fill this in. I want to have some big trees and bushes, maybe a house, we'll see. So let's mix up a color. I want a very dark color. Let's remove this paint from here. Let's clean this one too. Saves time for later. And I'm gonna use my ivory black here, some Prussian blue, some Van Dyke brown, some crimson, some sub green. Maybe add more of these colors, and I've run out of black here, so we want basically dark colors. Okay, let's add some more. Okay, let me clean my knife, and I'm gonna use a big brush. I'm gonna take the 2-inch brush here and just pull it through the paint like that, and bring it to a nice round corner. And let's have some bushes and all this stuff here. Just fill the scene. You can hardly see the reflection back here, so I want this a little bit high. Add a lot of pressure when you're painting the bush indications back here. Here we want a lot of paint. Just remember to layer these, same way we're doing with the highlight. Just bend the bristles. Okay. I want to make this a little bit higher. So let's come up here, and you can change your mind anytime you want, so feel free to do so. This is what I keep telling to people that are afraid to paint and say that I cannot pull a straight line or anything. This is not true, because in here we're not committed and we're just enjoying the process. Okay, let's bring the paint to a big blob once again, and I want to have some big evergreens here. So let's use the fan brush today and load both sides full of paint. Full of paint. And let's come up here, let's decide to have an evergreen tree. Make the center line, and this time I'm gonna push upwards. We regularly push downward when we're painting evergreens, but this time I want to show you something different. So let's come up here and do the same thing, but just push upwards. Make some nice evergreens here. This is probably look like a Christmas tree or something. They are very, very nice, and I like having them in my paintings anyway. Reload your brush and have another one in here. Just use the corner of the brush and more pressure as you go downwards. Just like that. You can have as many as you want. Let's have another one, a smaller one maybe. And once again the same process. I'm gonna have a couple more. Have a big one in here. And you need to find the side of the brush that actually bends better. That way you're gonna have a much better effect. Now maybe have another one in between these two. And I believe these trees are easier than the others because it's very difficult to go wrong by just going sideways and pushing upwards. It's easier to control how much strength you are applying. So let's have two more in here. And I'm just doing the same thing. Just remember to leave gaps in between each branch. And we will come back and highlight all these, so you can see the separation from now. Another tree. Let's have a bigger one. Just tap, tap, tap. And in here that I have the liquid white, I can just scrape it off and save some of the dark paint that I have, because they're gonna mix together and it might not look right. So it's easier for me to come above the white area. As you can see, I'm having no problem with it right now. So if you're having lots of paint at some points, for instance back here in the mountain I was alright, but in here I had more paint. So if you want to avoid mixing mud, you can just scrape off the small place that has more paint and just paint above that. Okay, let's add some tree trunks. Gonna take some white here and some dark sienna. Leave them like marble and cut off a very small roll of paint. Give the trees here, the tree trunks, just like so. Just scratch in here and just touch. And do the same thing to the big ones in here. Okay. And I'm going to take the same brush that I used to make the trees and go into some paint thinner and some cadmium yellow. And by the time I have dark paint already, we have a very nice dirty green color here. I'm going to add some sub-green just to make them a little bit alive. And load both sides with lots of paint, lots of paint. Okay. As you can see, we have lots of paint in here. And now let's add the highlights. So the mountains say that the light's coming from the right, so let's start by highlighting the right side of the tree more. And we'll go in here and just touch gently. Add some more paint. Let's go to the other tree now. But be gentle with that. I mean, you don't want to add a lot of pressure and bring the light and the dark color together and you have mud mixed here. As you can see, we have very gentle leaf indications. Just let the paint blend as they are working downward, and we have nice shadows down here, as you can see. But be gentle in the start. And then more and more pressure as you go downward, but still not enough to destroy that lacy effect we have here. Okay. And the other tree now. That quickly and that easily. We have a nice family of trees here. Now let's go and paint some nice bushes. I'm gonna use my favorite ones brush and go into some paint thinner. And go into some of the cadmium yellow and just pull some paint here. Add some more of the yellows and some sub-green too. And use a lot of pressure for that, a lot of paint, I'm sorry. Just pull the paint like this. And we have a nice rounded corner here, so let's paint some bushes. Be very gentle with the touch here. Just let the bristles do the work. As you can see, we have some very nice lacy foliage effect here. Try to paint one bush at a time. And remember to vary your colors. Now, if your paint won't stick, just thin it down only a little bit. Let's have another nice bush here. maybe paint this bush this time. And we go slightly above the dark and we just put some paint. But be very gentle and make the bristles bend a little bit. Just like that. Another happy bush lives here. And I'm going to take some Indian yellow, some cadmium yellow. Just like that. Vary your colors. Put some bright red here too. And let's come here and build another layer. Remember to leave dark areas in between each bush, so we have a nice depth built here. And if your paint won't stick, just add some paint thinner, but only a couple of drops will do. Now tell you something, let's build something in here. And I've got an idea. Just come here and put some bushes. Tell you something. I want to have a building in here. I want to have something like a barn or an old house, who knows. So let's take the knife. It's been a while since we last painted a building here. So let's be brave today. Let's have a barn. So let's have a big building. Let's start from the back side here and let's go like this. Okay, make this even. Just like that. And by the time we have a big building and we want to have a very nice shape of it, we have to work in our shapes and sizes. So I'm gonna make it just a little bit taller here. And we're just scratching in some paint here, so we have a basic shape of the building. I remove the excess paint so it sticks easier. Just like that. Big building here. And by the time we're removing that much paint, we're gonna paint the barn easier. The paint will stick better, so okay. Now let's take some Van Dyke brown here and let's just paint the basic shape. Just make the basic shape here, and we are not yet committed. We can change the shape and the size whenever we want. Let's bring some paint down here and let's build the inside after that. Just like that. Just pull some paint down. Let the knife do the work for you. But you have to be sure that you have removed the paint that is underneath so the brown sticks easier. Now we work on the inside. Some more paint. Just like that. What we're doing is that we're basically filling this in, and then we will come back and highlight it, add shadows, add every detail you want. Okay. Just like that. Now let's gonna mix some more white here and an amount of dark sienna. Okay, leave it like marble, and this is gonna be looking like old wood. That's what we want here. So cut off the roll of paint and come in here, and remember the light source is coming from the right, and we're just gonna caress the canvas like that. Just be very, very gentle. You have already practiced with the mountains back here. Now I'm gonna return to my brown and do some more blending, and this is looking like old wood. This is something very, very nice. At some points I'm just looking at random pictures on the internet of such buildings, and I think they're fascinating because I don't have them in my country. Not anymore, at least. Okay, let's build the back now. I'm gonna take some white and some Van Dyke brown and some of me pale blue here. And once again we have the roll of paint, and just work like that. Just make the paint break. And we're gonna work in our separations now. Okay, let's have a door. Let's take the small edge of the knife and just go. No, I've changed my mind. So let's see. Let's have some more brown here. And I'm gonna take the small knife this time. I want to have a big door. So let's have a big door. Just like that. See? And let's have something as a window back here. Like so. Now I'm gonna take some white and separate those. We want them more distinct. Take your knife and do the same thing to the door too. Okay. Now let's build some tiles on the roof. Let's take some of my bright red and some Van Dyke brown here. This is what I'm already having, so let's save it. And I'm gonna take the small edge and take a roll of paint on the edge of the knife. So let's just start from the bottom here and do this move. Remember to reload your knife as necessary. And this is very nice because every time I'm making these kind of wooden structures, I think of my father, who is a carpenter, and it would be nice in the future to learn to do things with the wood like my dad does. So in here I'm just adding some tiles. Just one by one. Okay, now I'm gonna go to the other side, same color, and just do the same thing here, like that. And now we need to separate those as well, so let's take some white and just touch it with white. This is going to separate the roof from the rest of the building. Just like that. And that is, we have a very nice building here, so let's work on its bottom here. Cut off what we don't like. Okay. And now we can just fill in bushes and stuff. Return to my 1-inch brush. Maybe there is a big bush in front of this barn. Maybe this is an abandoned barn or something. Another big one in here. And this actually pushes the barn back. Tell you something, let's go to the other side and let's have a big one in here. You see, this one comes in front of the barn. And now let's have a path. And this time, well, I will use the knife again. I just like it. I'm gonna take some Van Dyke brown. Let's use it to build a nice path here. And as we're moving closer, we just need the path to be bigger, so going here like that, and highlight it with some white and sienna here, and be very, very gentle with that, very, very gentle. If you add more pressure than necessary, you're not gonna end with this nice rocky effect you have. Same thing in the building here. So let's return to the ones brush now and bring all this together. Bring some leaves in here. And now we're gonna come in front. Just take some soft green and some bushes to hide the path. And we're working layer after layer in here, so nice bush here, and I'm gonna add another one in here. This is something I want. Let's see something. I'm gonna take some more paint in here, and I'm gonna take just the rounded corner through some red. As you can see, we have a red dot on the top of the brush, and let's have a bush that maybe has some flowers on. See? A nice flowered bush here. You can have as many of them as you want, or you can make all of them like that. Some more paint here and there. And I really hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Let's scratch in some sticks and twigs. This certainly gives interest to our painting. And we hardly doing a thing here. Just here and there. Okay. So I think this is it for today. I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. This is something of a regular mountain painting, but you can add whatever aspects you like, and I think the barn here is very, very nice. It's something different. It's been a while since we last did a building, and I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. So until next week, I'd like to wish you happy painting. Take care, and I'll see you soon.